Alright, so another thing. If I go into my project folder in which I have saved everything, and I create a subfolder and I call it class, and let's say I put the obj.as file inside of my class folder, and I go back into my code, it will say that it's missing the Actionscript file. That's okay. I'm just going to remove this and not save it. Alright. So now Flash doesn't know that there is a Actionscript file. So if I run this, it can't find the class that I have. As you can see, it gives me 2 definition errors. Alright, so how do we solve this? Well, in order to let Flash know where this package is that we have created, we need to import it. So let's say import, and we know where this folder is. It's class inside of root, and we say dot everything. So now we are importing everything inside of class. So if I run it now, I get 1 error, and that's probably because I named it into something that Flash is already using. So let's change this and say test folder, and let's import test folder. Alright, let's save it and run it. I still get 1 error, and let's see what that is. Yes, of course. Alright, so it wasn't the name. You can actually override those, so I was a bit of surprised. It's actually the package name. So if you decide to organize your classes inside of folders, which is a good thing to do, I do it myself, it's very handy, you're gonna need to give your package the root that it's in, the URL. So after package, you're gonna have to write test folder in this case. And if you save this class now and go back and run it, there are no errors, and I still get the call trace. Alright. So let's do a little more inside of this class. Let's create some objects for it. So let's see, maybe a rectangle, and let's change this a little, maybe drag it along a bit like this, and turn it into some kind of an airship. I'm not a graphic artist, so it won't be anything special. Something like that. And let me take another one. And let's remove the border. Alright. Let me make this a little more like that. Alright, let's zoom out. It's too big. So let's scale it down a little like this. Maybe like that. Hold down shift to scale it in the right size. And okay, so we have a small spaceship kind of thing. And let's turn this into a movie clip, and let's say ship, and export it for Actionscript as ship. Alright, so we can put this inside of the root folder if you don't put anything in front of it, or we can put it inside of the test folder. So but let's not do that. Let's just say okay, because this is going to be called without any specific classes. We're not going to edit the class of this ship we're just going to draw it. So in that case, we don't really need a class for it. Well, we actually create a class for it, but it stays invisible. We don't edit this class. Alright, hit OK, and we can delete this from the stage and save. Go back to the obj.as, and let's create that ship in here. Let's say private var ship, data type it to ship, and in here let's say ship is equal to new ship, and let's say add child ship and run it. Alright, let's go back to our main class. So what we are doing now is we are adding the ship movie clip inside of our object movie clip, but we are not adding the object movie clip to the stage. So if I add object to the stage, so if I say inside of my main class add child obj and run it, you can see it appears here, and I again created a button instead of a movie clip. Really got to stop doing that. So let's change this back to a movie clip and hit OK. Alright, so you can see the spaceship in here, but let's make it fly along with the mouse. In order to do this, we can use two things. We can use the mouse move event, or we can use the enter frame event. So in this case, let's just use the mouse move event and see how that works out. So let's say add event listener mouse event dot mouse move, comma m move, and let's create this function, private function m move. So this name is the same as this name, open parenthesis e mouse event. Alright, so you might be wondering what E is for. Well, E is the variable on which the event listener is stored on. So in this case, E is equal to this package. But E might be useful if you're loading stuff. We will get into loading object and stuff later in the later tutorials. That's a little more advanced, but for now let's just use E for defining the package.